in the studio with us today, we have a special guest who's joining us to talk about a new single, and not only that, a bit about yourself as well, and that is Tom Curtin, who's joining us here from Katherine.
G'day, Kalem. How you going, mate?
Pretty good.
Great to be here.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you in. You're going to be releasing your new single has been released, but a new album is also coming out later this year. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We've just released a new single called "We're Still Here" for the farmers battling droughts and floods and things all around the country. And the new album should be out November 15th.
Excellent. So "We're Still Here" is a part of a. You came up with it from a tour, is that right? You were going all around the eastern states on a part of a tour to help promote your other business, which is a Katherine venture? Yeah,
that's right. So we run an Outback show in Katherine called the Katherine Outback Experience, and we finished that end of October, and we've got about 4 months or so over the wet season, so we thought we'd load up the horses and the dogs and the sound gear, the band members, and we did about 50 shows from Katherine to Townsville, Sydney, Melbourne and back again.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty full on, but we love going to a lot of remote communities out there. And as I was travelling through central Queensland in early December, we noticed, the whole drought-stricken areas. There'd been a lot of graziers out there had been in drought for 7 years. Then on the way back through mid-March, we're coming back and, after all the floods in February and things like that, the landscape had been transformed into lush green grass, but sitting up high in the truck, you could see all these dead cattle washed up against the fence lines and things like that, and really hit home for me. I had a lot of mates out there, and so I just tried to write a song, with a good mate, Garth Porter, producer down in Sydney. I began writing it, got inspired there in the truck driving along, and I just wanted to really try to inspire, the other farmers and, highlight the resilience of them out there battling along.
We've seen the dry live through the dust, washed away in rising floods. We're battered and wet bruised, with nothing left to lose, and we're still here.
So what was some of the worst things that you saw out there? A lot of people have only just seen glimpses of how the droughts and how the floods actually have been affecting people. But what did you see personally?
Yeah, it was pretty full on, to be honest, because I wasn't really expecting it. I've seen a lot of the drought over the years, and I've seen, the animals and how they, fall away in condition and nutrition and things like that. But I suppose it was the worry and the pain on the faces of the people that were coming to our shows. I really try to target these outback little small towns or communities because they don't get much entertainment out there. And once we put on a show, all these guys come in, their families come in, they check in with each other, the neighbours, and it's for me, that's the buzz of seeing them transform after a few hours entertainment. And it's almost a bit of therapy, for them to come together and see that they're not alone. Everyone's in the same sort of boat, and they can help each other out, and they pull together in these remote areas.
Well, that's something that I've always found, and it's the thing about Australia. It's a term that's rarely not used as much as it was in the past, but it's mateship. It occurs especially in Australia when these type of adversarial things come up. And it's good to see that you've gone through over there and actually witnessed it, and helping to raise awareness about it, especially.
Yeah, you've got to help out where you can, So it's great to try to get this song out, and hopefully people can draw strength and hope from the song, and keep moving forward.
You've been on tour and you're still touring around, and you've just in the final throes of releasing an album that's coming out in November. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, I wrote a lot of the songs while I was travelling around in the truck. We had about 6 or 8 other people on the tour with us, and band members and things like that. But I find being on the road, travelling, it's great for songwriting. And so I get these ideas and, sort of try to work them out as we're driving along. And I do team up with my producer, Garth Porter, down in Sydney. And he's just amazing with songwriting and all the producing side of things, getting all the musicians coming in as well. So it's great to be inspired as we travel along, meeting people that come to our shows, and they've got a lot of different stories. So I just try to put those stories into song so the rest of the country can hear them. And there's a lot of great songs out, or great stories out there, that haven't really been heard. And so I find it really inspiring to even check in with these people that come to the shows and, try to write a song about that. So we've got some fun ones, we've got some real serious ones, we've got some laid back ones, so it should be, hopefully it'll we're still working on it, so hopefully the next couple of months it'll be all finished and out by November.
Have you got a name for the album?
Not yet. It's still all, it could be called We're Still Here after the first single, but there's a few others in the pipeline that we're sort of just want to see how the final mixes come up and see how they all shape up.
Maybe I told you we're still here.
Yeah, that could be good.
Sure. But so you've been a part of the Katherine Outback Experience, which actually won a Brogre Award, I believe, last year?
Yes, that's right.
Tell me what it was like coming up with this idea and actually going through with it so you can push it through the rest of Australia.
Yeah, well, I came up to the Northern Territory about 2001 and went straight into the stock camps mustering cattle. There was something up here that inspired me to write songs, and I was on the back of a horse most days, and the hoof beats became a bit of a drum beat. These songs came into my head. An old bloke gave me an old guitar that I was working with on the cattle station.
Sure.
And he showed me 3 chords every night time I'd practice around the campfire, trying to write these songs and play the guitar. I eventually won a singing contest at Adelaide River.
Wow.
Which I think I might have been the only one in it, to be honest. No, it was good though. It got me down to Tamworth, and that's where I met Garth Porter, the producer. And we put a couple of CDs out, travelled a lot of Australia over the years, but and I loved it, but I just missed the territory, the dry season weather.
Yeah.
There was heaps of horses to train up here. So in the meantime, I did a lot of contract horse breaking all around the Northern Territory. I grew up with horses and still working on it and learning the craft. But
So for those out there who are not aware, what is horse breaking?
horse breaking is getting a pretty wild horse, and you've got to try to catch it, quieten it down, saddle it for the first time, and ride it for the first time, and then for the next month. And then we hand those horses back over to the cattle stations so they can go and muster the cattle in a quiet, safe manner. So
It's a real skill, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It is, and a big skill is trying to read every horse is different, got a different personality. So to really try to hone in on the animal behaviour just by the way the horse is holding its ears or head carriage or how it's carrying its tail. You can sort of fast track the whole process if you can understand their, personality. And so I think that's the biggest challenge. I'm still learning it, but over the years, I thought if I could move to Katherine, bought a little 20-acre block there, I could still train horses, and I got a lot of cattle stations to send horses to Katherine, and it's going really well till about 2011 when the live beef export ban hit. Then overnight all the budgets were cut. I had no horses to train, so I went singing at the caravan parks 4 nights a week, and those people said, Tom, can we come and see what you're doing every day? So it sort of evolved. I started off underneath a tree with 2 dogs and a horse, and no one turned up, even for the first show about 6 years ago. And
Is this bloke with 2 dogs and a horse over there? You want to go now?
Yeah. Doesn't sound like much, does it?
Sounds interesting. If someone promoted something saying, I got 2 dogs and a horse, do you want to check it out? I'd go.
No, it was very interesting. It was a great challenge. A lot of my mates said, Tom, no one's going to turn up, mate. No one's going to, come and see you train the horses and the dogs. It's not really a polished show. And I started doing 3 shows a week, and honestly, 1 person would come or 2 people, often no one. But we just kept on chipping away, and 6 years on, we're there 7 months of the year, April to the end of October, and we're doing about 10 or 12 shows a week. And with the people on the GAN train, bus companies, school camps, it's pretty full on. And yeah, we're onto our 4th album as well. So we combine the horse training, the dog training. We have about 15 working dogs and a few horse tricks, as well as my music throughout the the show.
You were here, I believe it was last year, the year before, for the Darwin show, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I did interview you back then as well, and I got the opportunity when we were doing the news story on it to actually go through some of the footage of your show itself, and it is a spectacle. It's something that I've never seen before, and it's truly unique and interesting. So all of this skill and spectacle that's on display earned you a Brogre Award.
It is my pleasure to announce the winner of this category is Katherine Outback Experience.
How did that feel going up on the stage to accept what you got?
Yeah, it was absolutely mind-blowing because, just coming through, trying to build your business up and get the awareness out there, all the marketing and the struggles you go through. It's a long haul, but I think if you just keep in the positive frame of mind and just keep chipping away at it, and I was overwhelmed really, and so very grateful for the support out there and the recognition.
It is truly amazing. Now, another thing you've also worked on is something called Speak Up for Dollys Dream. Do you mind just telling us a bit about that and what your involvement is in it?
Yeah, no worries. I was down touring through southwest WA at the time, and little Dolly Everett passed away after a bout of bullying. She was only 14 years old. We knew the family up here in the Territory through camp drafting and the rodeos and things like that over the years. And so I was very inspired by the words Dolly wrote before she passed away, "Speak even if your voice shakes." And so I just thought if I could write a song based on that. I started writing it, and then I teamed up with Garth again down there in Sydney, and I asked good friend Sarah Storer to come in and sing on the track with us, because I think she's a great role model for a lot of teenage girls out there. And initially I just wanted to see if we can raise a bit of awareness. The last tour over the summer, we called it the Speak Up Tour, and we dropped into about 30 schools. I think it was about 6,000 kids over that time, just to talk and sing a few songs about raising awareness with bullying and things like that.
Ready? You got to speak up, even if your voice shakes. You got to stand up, even if your world breaks.
And so, over the last 12 months, people could download the song off iTunes, or they buy the physical CD from our shows. And we've just found out we've raised over $20,000 just from people buying the track.
That's
and
fantastic.
Donating back to Dollys Dream. So a big thank you to all those people out there. It's amazing.
Excellent. So before we go, you are in the middle of touring still, is that correct? I don't think you stopped touring, truthfully.
Yeah, I don't think I ever stopped. But we're always at the shows. We're always doing songs, and we're always writing and getting new songs out there. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
So where can we expect you next?
I think mid-November we'll try to come to Darwin and do a big CD launch up here, and might even bring the horses and the dogs as well. And
Into the studio even.
we could. We've got enough room here.
A horse and 2 dogs. Perfect.
They would fit in here too.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Tom. And we wish you all the best of luck in the future, especially for the Katherine Outback Experience. I'm going to be seeing it again next time you come up to Darwin, that's for sure.
No worries. Thanks for having us on.